Welcome back, guys. Today we are talking about ledger and ledger recover essentially, and what to do if you were one of the earlier purchasers and essentially bought the ledger and now are having regret. That regret is founded, and I'm going to help you with a solution in the interim, but then ultimately you can also make up your mind whether you should deviate from ledger in total. There are many other options available. Many of them are superior. So I advise to get educated and then make your decision for yourself. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be finding a solution to the Ledger Live software, which is the software that came with your Ledger. First thing to do is to stop using the Ledger Live. And the best alternative for that is to import your Ledger into Sparrow Wallet. So Sparrow is Bitcoin only. So if you're doing shitcoins, I guess the best alternative would be to import your ledger into something like a Keystone 3 Pro, which does accommodate shitcoins. Keystone has a Bitcoin only and a shitcoin. So if you're doing shitcoins, that's your go-to. Just first off, there are many reasons to be hesitant about the ledger now going forward, now that they've revealed what the actual game plan is here. If you educate yourself and read what ledger recover is, and there's a lot of detail on their website, but in essence, what they are advertising to do is to actually, they will take your seed, your private key, and shard it to 3 different parties. Okay. If this sits with you and you're okay with that, then that's fine. Plus, on top of it, you have to do KYC. Okay. You have to do a KYC, then they're going to shard your seed to 3 different parties. In the event that you were to lose yours, you can still recover with theirs, essentially, is the plan here. Plus, you're going to have to pay a subscription to do this. In essence, from the get-go, Ledger would tell us, no, the seed will never leave the secure element on the device. Okay, so now there's this change of face. First of all, Ledger is all closed source. We don't know. You can't audit it. Nobody can look in and see. It's dubious at best. I would not trust that. And when we're dealing with Bitcoin, we're going to stick to our guns and don't trust verify. So my suggestion is, so the first thing to do is to stop using Ledger Live, okay? Because it's closed source. That's the first thing to do. And then we're going to import I'm using the Nano S Plus. I'm going to bring this into Sparrow Wallet, and then at least that will take away the interface with the Ledger Live. So guys, let's jump over into the desktop and into Sparrow, and then I'll walk you through it. Just going to connect our Ledger, and I'll do the rest on the screen. It's going to be easier for you to see and understand. But essentially, just again, another bad thing about Ledger is that it's not air-gapped. You have to plug it into your computer. It has contact with the internet. Just another feature that's not very secure. So once you got it connected, enter your PIN, and then I'll meet you in the desktop. So let's jump over to Sparrow Wallet. And I noticed right away that there is a new firmware available for Sparrow. So I'm just going to click that. And we're going to download the new firmware, but before we install it, we want to verify it. Okay, so to do that, I'm using the Mac 2, so I'm going to download this version, and I'm going to download the manifest signature and the manifest and put them all into my downloads folder. So I have the DMG Sparrow, and I have the manifest signature and also the manifest. I'll get those all 3 in there. And then the cool thing about Sparrow is it actually has this little verification code built in. So before, you'd have to do a checksum, and it was quite technical to verify the signature of the software that you're downloading. But now Sparrow have developed a little verify tool, which I'll show you. So you go to the top, Tools, you go to Verify Download, okay, and then you browse for the TXT, I think it's TXT ASC, open that, and then it checks it right away. It pulls all those 3 files, and it can verify that it's signed by Craig Raw, the manifest hash matches, and it's ready to install. So this is very important. You don't just download a firmware update and go blind and say, okay, it must be good, it must be good. You want to verify everything when it comes to Bitcoin. Okay, so don't trust verify. Very good practice to do. And Sparrow have this really great little feature that you can use within their wallet to verify the signature, not just for the Sparrow firmware updates, but also for any other Bitcoin software updates. You can use the same thing and the same process. So once that's done, we'll close that out. I'll reopen Sparrow with the new version, and we'll import the ledger. In the downloads folder, we're going to double click on the DMG file because we've verified the software now. It's been signed by Craig Raw, and we verified that, so we know it's good. So let's double click this, and then that'll open up and reinstall Sparrow for us, hopefully with the latest version. Yeah, and drag it over to the applications folder. Say replace, and then we'll just open up Sparrow. Just click OK. It is good practice just to make sure you're running the latest version with the latest firmware. So if there is an update, it's good to do it sooner rather than later. And to check the version, you can just go to Sparrow, About Sparrow, and it'll tell us we're running a 1.90, which is the latest version. So we're good. So now what we need to do is we are going to import our ledger into Sparrow Wallet. Okay, so what you want to do is on your ledger, just make sure that it's not locked. And if it is, just unlock it and get it into the Bitcoin app. When you go to File, Import Wallet or a new wallet, you're going to give it a name. We're going to call it Ledger. Create Wallet. And everything is it's a single sig. The native SegWit, just keep it as it is up top here. And then you're going to do connect hardware wallet. So it's going to be this first option, and you're going to hit that, and then you're going to hit scan. And once you scan, you see it's telling me there's an error. Okay, so you might get this because I'm not in the Bitcoin app yet. I'm on it, so I'm going to click into the Bitcoin app. Okay, hit the 2 buttons on the top of the ledger, and then we'll try that again. So now it says on my ledger, it says Bitcoin is ready. So let's just run that again, scan, and there it is. Okay, Nano S Plus. Let's import the key store. So I'm gonna hit that, and there it is. So it has imported everything in from Ledger, and now we are using the Sparrow interface to control our Ledger. Sparrow and Ledger Live, they both talk to the same blockchain. Okay, so whatever you do on Sparrow will be evident when you go back to Ledger Live, if you do go back to Ledger Live. But the whole point of this exercise is to actually abandon Ledger Live and start using Sparrow. And there are many reasons to use Sparrow over Ledger Live. Mainly, it's more secure, it's open source, and that's the main reason. But also it's actually more user friendly, and it's easier to understand, and it's much more advanced. So you can start looking at your UTXOs, and there's a bunch of other controls that are superior to Ledger Live, above and beyond the security factor. Okay, so now that we have our ledger imported into Sparrow, we're just going to hit apply at the bottom here. I don't put a password because I tend to forget them. There's no real need to put a password. It's not like it's a password to your seed. It's just a password on Sparrow. So put a password if you want, but I'm not going to put a password for this. So no password. And that brings us up to the interface on Sparrow. I do have a playlist on Sparrow, and I will link that in the show notes below. Sparrow is a great and robust Bitcoin wallet. It is desktop only and it is Bitcoin only, but it's a fantastic tool to have and to know how to use. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll bring in a little bit of Bitcoin, we'll import it in, we'll send it back out, and that'll just be a way to demonstrate how to use the ledger interfacing with Sparrow as opposed to the Ledger Live software. To import some funds into this ledger now, using Sparrow, we're just going to go to receive, get our receive addresses, and I'm going to bring in some money through my Lightning wallet on Phoenix. I'm going to bring in a couple of sats, and I'm going to label it. It's always good to label your things. I'm just going to, from Phoenix, and I'm going to send some money in. Let's just enter $30. So we'll send in basically 35,000 sats, just under, and I'm going to give it a low priority because I don't want to spend too much on fees. And just before I do that, I'm going to check the mempool. And to get an idea of how congested the network is, I don't need these fees in a hurry, so I'm going to set it as a low priority. But you want to make sure that you're not spending too much money on fees, but don't set it too low of a priority because that might not go through and it could take days, it could get stuck. So rather just set it as a low to medium, and again, depending on how fast you need the money and how much you want to spend. But again, this is low priority, so let's go with that. And then when I do send it, always make sure that you are check the last few digits in your address, that they correspond where you're sending it to. It's very good to double check. Okay, the first couple of digits and at the beginning and at the end of the Bitcoin address. So once you've verified everything, we're going to send some money in, and then I'll pick it up once the funds are in. So I've just sent some funds in. Let's just check our transactions. And okay, there it is. So it's almost instantaneously it pops up. We have an incoming transaction coming in. So that little circle will start to fill with little pieces of pie. There's 6 pies total. But once you got 1 or 2 confirmations, you're pretty much good to start sending it back out again. I do go into further detail on this whole process in other videos concerning Sparrow, which you can see in the show notes below. And I highly recommend you watch those because Sparrow is a great tool, and the more you know about it, the better your life will be. Guys, we have our first confirmation. As you can see, there's one little pie that's grayed in. So with one confirmation, we can actually use this now and send it out again. Once you have 6 confirmations, when the full circle is grayed in, it's mathematically impossible to reverse the transaction. But for time's sake, what we can do now is now that we've received funds into our ledger, we can now send them out. And because our ledger is our cold storage device, we will need to sign the transaction when it leaves the wallet. So let me go into my UTXOs, and the UTXO is here. So basically a UTXO is like a banknote. So I just received a banknote, or I just received the funds. I'm going to send those funds right back out again. So I'm going to select the UTXO, and then I'm going to say send selected, and I'm going to send it actually straight back to the wallet that it came from. I'm just going to paste in the address, and again I'm going to give it another label. It's always good to label things so you know where they're coming from or going to. And what's nice about the Sparrow is it shows you the transaction. You got the actual transaction here, and then the fee over here. And we're going to keep the fee as is. I'm not going to play around with the fee too much. We looked at the mempool earlier. Not much has changed. So what you want to do is, once you have this all set up, you got your address in, we're going to say create transaction. And I just want to make sure I I just have to sign back into my, I'm going to do this off camera. Okay, so on your ledger, hope you can see that. You want to go into your Bitcoin app, okay? And we're going to say finalize for signing. And then we're going to hit sign on Sparrow. Okay, and then it's going to bring up this box. We're going to say sign. And then in the app, you'll see on the ledger, we're going to say review output. So that's the amount we're sending, and we're sending it to that address. And you can just double check the address, which is right there. Just confirm that it all checks out. Okay, and the last few digits, always check the last few digits there. And then once you're ready and you're good with that, you can hit approve. So on the ledger, it's the two buttons on the top. So approve, and then confirm transaction, fees, it tells you how much it is, and then accept and send. So we hit that. And there it is. Okay, so the final step on Sparrow is you just need to hit the broadcast transaction, which we'll do here. And that'll send that out to the blockchain. Funds have left. We used the ledger to sign that transaction. So now those funds are going back to the wallet that I directed it to. And essentially, guys, that's how we use Sparrow Wallet to interface with our ledger. So a great way to get rid of the Ledger Live option, which, as we mentioned before, is it's closed source, so we can't verify the security of it. Sparrow Wallet is open source, it's robust, and it also has a lot more features than a Ledger Live. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. More in the pipeline, but don't forget to like and subscribe, leave comments. Feedback is always good, and we'll catch you in the next one.